Yes, we are live tonight. Tune in, KMAC channel, loads and loads of transfer news, loads and loads of updates for you. Sorry for the wait, my internet's been slow. Let's do this. Evening. I hope you are all sorry, I'm real trouble with my StreamYard and internet. Have I gone frozen? Can you let me know if I've frozen? Okay, I'm back. Right, okay. I hope you're all well. Hope you are all well. I'm going to have to close some screens again because my internet's going mad. Okay, so it's been bonkers. It's been absolutely bonkers again. There's been so much news about players. Can you hear me okay? Can you let me know if you can hear me? I'm just checking my audio. Can you hear me okay? Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Yep, great. Okay, I think we're back. Right. Okay, I'm just going to crack straight into it, okay? Because my internet's playing up, or StreamYard's playing up, or something, or maybe it's the million tabs I've got open. So first of all, I'm going to show you this. All right, so this was posted on the 20th. Just totally unbiased. Yeah. Just tell me what you think this means. Where is it? This is it. Okay, are you ready for this? You might know this, but I'm going to share it now. Okay. Okay, here it is. Right, are you ready for this one? I don't really know what to say about this, but what I'll do is I'll show you this bit. So I'll show you this bit, yeah. Now just let me know, what do you think that is? What does that look like to you? I'm on an iMac, mate. I'm on a top of the range iMac. Just in the chat, what do you think that looks like, that emoji? Just write it in the chat what you think it is. Yeah. I think that looks like a liver as well. Yeah. Now let's have a look at the other thing that's in the picture. What do you think that is? What do you think that is? That's a liver, and that's clearly a pool. And that was posted on Florian Wirtz's Instagram, Twitter account on the 20th. I'm not joking you. He posted that on his stories. Look, you can say I'm reaching, but I know what liver and pool put together spell. It spells Liverpool. Like, anyway, that's all I'm saying. Okay, so that's one that I thought I'd throw out there, which is a really interesting one. Okay, whether I'm reaching, whether I'm not, I don't know. Okay, but it was posted on the 20th. It was posted on the 20th, by the way. But if it is, if it isn't, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. All right. However, I will show you this one. So obviously, absolute nightmare. With my internet. I'm on an absolute nightmare with my internet. Okay, so I'm going to close that tab. Right. I'm sharing another tab. Can anyone actually see it? I don't know. Can anyone actually see this tab now? I don't know. Okay, I don't know why it's come up with Tesco's. That's got nothing to do with what I was posting. Why has that done that? What? What the hell? Projectile. Why is that tab? Okay. Okay, here it is here. Okay, so okay, is it sharing this screen? Oh, stop sharing. Hang on 2 seconds. Right, where is it? What about this? Like, I didn't think it would still be this slow. Okay, so I'm just sharing another screen. I don't know why it's froze. Okay, so where's the screen? Okay, so I'm sharing the screen. Sharing this screen now. Can you see it? Can you see it? Where is it? God. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is a German. This is a Bayern Munich legend that's come out and started doing the offensive against Florian Wirtz. So basically, this is what Bayern Munich do. When Bayern Munich don't get their way, they do exactly what Real Madrid do, and they get all the media and they get all ex-players to start going in on the other players to make it look like, oh, it's their fault. But they're the reason why they're not coming to the club. Like, we don't want them anyway. Like, so now you've got Stefan Effenberg, who's come out and criticised Florian Wirtz by saying he's dignified because he's making a decision on whether he wants to come to Liverpool or Bayern Munich. So now he's undignified. So this is how it plays out in Germany, and especially when Bayern Munich don't get their own way, they start throwing toys at the pram. And this is also really interesting as well, because I see a lot of people that are talking about, well, why is Edwards talking about Liverpool transfers? Like, that's not what he does. Like I got kicked out of my own stream. Okay, so I'm back. So I'm just going to reshare this screen. Sorry. Where am I? So this is right. Hang on. So that's that one. So let me just reshare this and then I'll go to the other screen. Okay, so let me just reshare this. Really sorry about this. Apologize. I didn't realize my internet was that bad right now. Okay, so I'm going to share this screen. I'm going to close that screen. Okay, So basically, everyone was talking about, well, why are Liverpool telling us about players that they're looking to sign? Like, that's not how we do things. Well, we do understand that, like, that things get leaked, and the only reason we found out that Florian Wirtz's family were even in Liverpool was because the Bayern Munich director told the media in an interview, and I'm literally going to tell you it word by word here, which is this bit here. So this is from David Ornstein, by the way. However, Bayern chief Hornus has now made an honest admission on the transfer saga. As reported by This Is Anfield, it wasn't by This Is Anfield, by the way, Hornus said, "What am I supposed to tell you now? You've been writing nonsense for weeks about him going to Manchester City, even though he was at Liverpool. At some point, we'll provide you the facts, not more speculation." Okay. Ollie Hornus, that's it, yeah. Big up Polo. It was on the Bayern Munich podcast. Yeah, you're right. So that's the only reason why anybody knows that Wirtz's family was at Liverpool, because the Bayern Munich, what's his job? Bayern chief leaked it. Well, the reason why he leaked it is because he wanted to put pressure on Wirtz to make a decision quicker, and he was also panicking because he's at Liverpool, and Bayern Munich genuinely believe that Liverpool have got their man. They genuinely believe that Liverpool have got their man, and that's why they're sending out their goons, their goon squad, basically, like saying Wirtz is undignified and he's not a real German and all this stuff, like all this crap all over the media, because Bayern pay for the media. They're just like Real Madrid. They go and take all the best players from Germany, and they just Farmers League it consistently. Like, Bayer Leverkusen are fed up of it. The good thing about Bayer Leverkusen for us is they're the only club that don't sell players, their best players, to Bayern Munich every single year. They don't do it. Like, the last player they sold, I think, was Michael Ballack, and Luziao, I think he's Brazilian, which is like, I don't know, like 10 years ago more. So this is, yeah, they are showing their class, aren't they? More like ass. Liverpool played a testimonial in '87. Oh, I didn't know that, Polo. There you go. Your fountain of knowledge. So I'll bring that one up as well, because I think that's interesting. Getting nervous because Liverpool are apparently, Florian Wirtz has already been looking at houses during his visit. Yeah, he wants to also live near his mate Frimpong. Remember, his mate Julian Frimpong, they've been mates for like 4 years. Like, Wirtz came to Bayer Leverkusen when he was 17, and he turned down Liverpool to go to Bayer Leverkusen because his parents wanted him to do his GCSEs, to finish his exams in Germany. It's the only reason why he didn't come to Liverpool. Like, you can go and look that up. Like, and he's also mates with Jerome Frimpong, who he's known for years. So he's a key. He's a real key. He was a key to this deal. He was a key to this deal, because the hardest thing for Wirtz was to come over to the UK and not be able to speak English, and also not to know anybody, because we haven't got any other German players. So the integration might have been quite difficult, but because we bring in Frimpong as well, the pair of them can be buddies. They can be roommates when they go on the road, when we go and play on the road away. And you also have to look at the other situation as well, where Kerkez ain't going to have a problem integrating. His best mate is Dominic Szoboszlai. I mean, you couldn't pick doing things better stylistically and doing things the right way than signing players that know each other well. Signing players that actually play football with each other on a regular basis. I just think it's a great dynamic to have. Like it's a good idea for me. And having lots of Dutch players, why not? We've got a really good Dutch manager. We've also got a fantastic Dutch assistant manager. We've also got an up and coming potential manager in Johnny Heitinga, who's wanted by Ajax and PSV. You know, he's a wanted manager as well for clubs. So we've got a really good dynamic there. I haven't talked about that yet, but well done, Tony, for dropping that one in there. And also Alvarez and Maka as well. You're not wrong. The really interesting thing about it is we've already presented the project, and Arnie Slot's already done an online presentation through Zoom for the Wirtz contingent. But they wanted to come over and look at the training ground, and they were really impressed from the last time they visited it, which was obviously 4 years ago. And they say that it's really improved. Like, you know, it's gone from it's just looking so much more well run. And I mean, let's be honest. Okay, what I'll do is I will talk about, if somebody else was at the club, we probably wouldn't get Wirtz, and I'll show you this, which is the reason why I don't think we would. All right. I'm very confident. Very confident. So let me just share another screen. 2 seconds. Okay, so it was a long time ago, but this happened. Where is it? I hope I didn't close the screen. Actually, let me show you this as well. So Florian Wirtz's best friend on the pitch, Robert Andrich, has also told him not to go to Bayern Munich. So he's being told not to go to Bayern Munich by a number of people. Okay, so you have to be taking that as a positive as well. That players are telling him, don't go to Bayern Munich. Like, this isn't the project for you. So where is it? Yeah, so this one here, this is from Paul Joyce. So Paul Joyce reports that Bayern have been considered as favourites, but Liverpool are trying to persuade him to opt for a new challenge in the Premier League. Wirtz is clearly not decided. He's got about 6 days, by the way, before he will decide. There are a few comments along those lines. Andrich said, when asked, he had told Wirtz to go abroad instead of Bayern. I mean, the biggest people who are telling him to go abroad are Bayer Leverkusen. They do not want to sell him to a rival. You know, they're going to finish, second behind Bayern Munich again? But they are a rival. They're a rival club. Like, they've been competing with them, like, for the last couple of years. So if they go and get like Cesc Fabregas or potentially Ten Hag, there's no reason why Bayer Leverkusen can't go and compete again. Like, they've got a good team. I know they're going to lose a few players, and I'm also going to talk about that as well, because I don't think Wirtz is going to be the last player we go for either. I think we've got our eyes on a defender as well, and I'm not talking Jonathan Tah, but I just think like, they get another guy in, and they'll be back on it again. And this was a couple of days ago. The transfer decision expected within 10 days, claims German report. So it looks like he's going to make a decision soon. Yep, Hincapié, 100%. They're going to get loads of money off us, aren't they? Okay, so I wanted to show you this, but I don't know where it is. I think I've lost it. Have I lost it? Oh, okay. Well, I think I'll just talk about it then. So basically, so this is why I don't think we would have got we would get Wirtz if we'd have had the previous regime at the club. And yeah, I've closed it down. Yeah, I've closed it down. Okay. Well, I'll cover this anyway now. So I'll cover this. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I wanted to cover here, which is the Luis Diaz stuff. Where's the screen? Okay, so I'll talk about Luis Diaz now. All right. Okay. Okay, so I'll talk about. Right, there's like 220 of you in here now. So if you haven't hit the like and subscribe, please do. So Luis Diaz, put a 1 in the chat if you think he's going to stay, or a 2 in the chat if you think he's going to go. I want to see what people think on this one. 1 in the chat, Diaz stays. 2 in the chat, Diaz goes. 2s. Yeah, there's a lot of 2s in there. I was thinking the same. So the interesting thing about Diaz is Barcelona see him as the left-sided winger, because at the moment, actually, this is the one I wanted to share. Sorry. At the moment, they're playing Rafinha out of position, because Rafinha's natural position is the right-hand side, which is Lamine Yamal is, and they're already seeing signs of fatigue and also burnout in Lamine Yamal, and they obviously don't want to run a 17-year-old down into the ground, which they pretty much have. He's already had like 2 injuries this season for a 17-year-old, and they want Luis Diaz in on the left so they can play Rafinha on the right, and they can rotate Lamine Yamal with Rafinha. And also Rafinha can play in the attacking midfield role as well. But they see Lamine Yamal as the next Messi. He can do what Messi does. That's what they see. So ideally, they want to bring him into the middle eventually, which is where Messi played, like behind a striker. And they really do see Diaz as the left side, like 100%. Like Deco is all in on him. Hansi Flick is all in on him. Like, do not be surprised if he goes. So 4 reasons Barcelona are convinced Diaz is the perfect replacement. According to Football España, Barcelona will not have the budget to overhaul their squad the way Hansi Flick would like, but it appears they are desperate to bring in a left winger. Barca director is a huge fan of Diaz. Whatever money he is available is likely to go on the Liverpool man. And according to Spanish outlet Sempera Barca, there are 4 reasons why Deco, Flick and Barcelona are keen on Diaz. 85 million euros would be significantly more expensive than Nico Williams, but Deco, Hansi Flick and Laporta have decided Diaz meets their needs. The 5th reason why they prefer, at his age, 28-year-old, the Spanish side consider this a positive given how young and inexperienced the current Barcelona side is. Secondly, they also feel that his qualities and knowledge of the game would allow him to hit the ground running and become a decisive forward. Thirdly, his versatility and ability to play across the front line is also important. Barcelona primarily relying on 4 forwards to cover 3 positions all season. And fourth and finally, Barcelona is no longer as serious about signing Nico Williams. Guys and girls, honestly, this one's happening. Honestly, Luis Diaz is going to Barcelona. Like, they will pull levers to make this happen. They will absolutely pull levers to make this happen. There's way too many reports over the last couple of months about Diaz wanting to go to Barcelona. Even his dad was talking about it. Like, there's no smoke without fire. Diaz is on 74 grand a week at the moment. He wants to double his wages to nearly 200. He's a 28-year-old going on 29. Like, it's just not going to happen. Jordan Henderson only got that contract because Klopp basically forced Edwards at the club. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, is not going to get a 4-year deal at 28. Like, and to be honest, in my eyes, if he'd have played Cody Gakpo all season, he'd have scored more goals than Diaz. He scored more goals than him anyway, but he wasn't played as much. And that's an interesting one as well. Fofana's available for 25 million, apparently. Like, apparently he's available for 25 million. And he's already come out and said moving to Liverpool would be a dream. But there's another guy that we want on the left side. And you know who I'm talking about. I think someone put his name in the chat. Where is he? He could be Argentinian. Oh, someone's put a big message about Alvarez in there. Where is it? Let me bring up that Alvarez comment. I can't find it now. Sorry. Okay, that's it there. Hang on. In my Spanish local news, they are saying Alonso wants Wirtz at Madrid, and they're already in an offer. Yeah, I was going to say the only club that can probably get him ahead of us is Real Madrid. However, they have just spent 50 million cash on Dean Huijsen. That was money they didn't want to spend. They didn't want to spend 50 million, but he became available, and they had to pull the trigger on him because he's just too good a talent to miss. So they're spending the money on him. They've also spent, I don't know, 25, 30 million on Trent. Like, I know they got him free, but they paid a huge signing on fee and his agents. So he got a big deal. They're also losing a lot of players. And I'm saying losing players that they're not going to get any money for. You know, there's going to be a number of players leaving the club and they're not going to get any money for them. And they're also signing Carreras. We also know he's going to cost 50 million. I don't see them splashing out on an attacking midfielder when they've got Jude Bellingham. You know, I just don't see it. And I get the Rodrigo sale. He's gonna get them about 60 odd million, 68 million, I believe. But they're not replacing Rodrigo. Like, everyone thinks that they're going to place Rodrigo with a left winger or an attacking midfielder. Who? When they've already got one? They've already got Arda Güler. Like, Xabi Alonso rates Arda Güler really highly and wants to keep him at the club and give him a role next season. That's a fact, and that's the reason why Rodrigo is being pushed out even more, because Arda Güler is now getting games ahead of him, and he's a younger player, and he's on less wages. Like, Rodrigo's on over £200,000 a week. Like, he's a high paid player, and as much as I rate Rodrigo, Rodrigo's never scored more than 15 goals a season. Like, never. Like, is that the guy you want? Like, he's never scored over 15 goals, and he's a right winger, so he doesn't get into a Liverpool team. He might go. Everyone's talking about Arsenal, by the way, for Rodrigo. If Chelsea get Champions League, Chelsea are going to sign Rodrigo. Like, they are going to sign Rodrigo, Chelsea. You can talk about all the Arsenal stuff. No. Nope. He's going to go to Chelsea. They're going to break their rules of that Wonder Kid rule that they do if they get Champions League, because Chelsea are going to have 200 million to spend, and they're going to buy a top world-class winger and a striker. That's what they're going to do. And obviously a central defender, because they've got a load of bozos. But yeah. So watch this space for Chelsea. That's an interesting one. That is a very interesting one, because Xabi Alonso is a really big fan of Zubimendi. Zubimendi would love to go to Real Madrid. And it does look like Modric is retiring, or he's going to Saudi Arabia or somewhere like that. But it does look like Modric is going. If Modric goes, they might have a space in midfield for a Zubimendi. I don't know. I really don't know what Xabi Alonso wants to do, but the only threat for Wirtz is Xabi Alonso, because he would go to Real Madrid. He would go to Real Madrid, but it's whether Real Madrid will sanction that move when they've got plenty of players and Arda Güler who they really want to integrate into the team more. And they've got Jude as well. You're right. They've got Jude. And they're also after Jude's brother. Anyway, moving on. So let's talk about Chiesa. So it looks like Chiesa's off. It looks like Chiesa is possibly going to AC Milan on loan, with us paying a little bit of his loan fee. He's not going to Napoli. That's just not happening. Also, AC Milan are probably going to finish outside of European spots this season, so that looks like a move that could happen. But I don't think he's going to be at the club next season. It looks like it looks like to me it was a really poor bit of business, but we didn't know about his insomnia issues. Like, we genuinely didn't know about that he had insomnia, and he got nightmares, like really bad nightmares and daymares, which obviously came up after we signed him, and this was a problem. And we've not been able to get him into the team because he doesn't sleep at night, and he's a bit of a nervous wreck. So this has all come out now since he signed, and since he's had doctors looking at him and that, but it just wasn't picked up in the medical. I know it's a wild one, isn't it? But it's true. It's absolutely true. Also, talk about Darwin Núñez. Really interesting. Darwin Núñez literally talking about Diego Simeone, and saying that he thinks Diego Simeone could get really good output out of him. Like, Darwin Núñez just needs to shut up. Like, for me, he just needs to shut up. He needs to stop talking when he goes abroad, because he's constantly doing these interviews, and he's making himself look like an ass. Like, he really is making himself look like an ass. And now he's talking about another manager, saying he could get better out of him. Well, I mean, I talked about this months ago, that he would end up at Atletico Madrid, and we'd potentially end up with Alvarez. And it really does look like this could be on the cards. Really interesting one is Atletico Madrid are willing to take him on loan with a £40 million obligation fee at the end of the loan for a year. However, Liverpool are willing to sell him for less if we can negotiate him into the deal with Alvarez. So it's not a swap. It's just not a swap deal. It's a bit like what happened with Chelsea when they got when Atletico Madrid got the Chelsea Gallagher. Yeah, when they got Gallagher, and then Chelsea got Felix. They both paid cash. Like, there wasn't any swap. It was cash here, cash there. And it's the same with Núñez. This will be cash, or this will be a loan with an obligation, and then we get Alvarez, and then they pay for Núñez at the end, but we pay for Alvarez. I also want to mention a couple of things on Alvarez as well, by the way. I'm going to show you this just in case you think I'm talking tosh. So this came up today, by the way. But I was talking about this a long time ago. So meetings will begin, Alvarez and Liverpool. Okay. Things you might not know about Alvarez, okay, is, and take my word for it or not, all right, go and do your own research, okay, you'll find the information that I'm talking about. You may have to go to places where they don't speak your language, but you can translate it. However, Alvarez left Manchester City. The main reason, I'm going to put myself on big screen. The main reason wasn't because he was homesick and he didn't like the weather and all of that nonsense. No, the main reason he left Manchester City is because his girlfriend and his family could not get visas, and they had to stay in Spain. That was the main reason, okay? Because they're Argentine, which means they've got Spanish visas, yeah? So they were in Spain and he was in Manchester, yeah? And they tried the commute and whatever, but she couldn't get a visa, okay? So he decided he was going to leave. We tried to buy him last season. We tried to buy him and we offered, I think it was 100 million euros we offered. It wasn't 100 million pounds, it was like 100 million euros. And Manchester City said, you can have him, but you're going to throw Diaz in as well. And we decided, no, that's too much. Yeah. So then he's gone to Atletico Madrid. Okay. He didn't cost 94 million pounds. He just didn't. Okay. All of that was thrown way out of proportion, and it also included all of the buy-ins, all of the add-ons and clauses and all of the other things, which he hasn't hit any of them, because I think they finished third or fourth, which means they've got Champions League football. That's not an obligation or an add-on. The add-ons where you win the Champions League, you win the league, you play, I don't know, 100 games or something like that, and also you need to score a certain amount of goals. There's all kinds of add-ons which add up to 94 million pounds in the end. He's only cost them 62 million quid. That's how much they paid, 62 million quid, and they haven't paid everything yet, because they're having trouble paying the payments. So they've only paid about 50 something million. Like, you can go and look this up, okay? Go and look this up. All right, go and look this up. But they haven't even paid the 64 million yet, or 66 million, I think it is. Yeah. So they want more than they paid for him. Well, they haven't paid 94 million. So he's not going to cost us 94 million. So all of this stuff about he's going to cost over 150 million and blah, blah, blah. He's got 126 million pounds release clause anyway. So we can activate that anyway if we wanted. But we could buy him for less and give them Núñez. So this is what's being discussed. And I'm going to go on big screen now. And the reason why Edwards has gone to Boston is because he's discussing a £200 million loan to buy two players. To buy Alvarez and to buy Wirtz. And that should make you giddy that we are actually in conversations and looking at buying two of the best players on the planet Like, they are the best players on the planet. Like, I could not think of two better players to come in to an Arnie Slot team. They are both unbelievable off the ball. They are both versatile in numerous positions, from midfield to attack. And they are both two of the best young players on the planet. Like, and we're about to sign one of their best mates, and we already have the other one's best mate in our team. Like, talk about getting two guys in that are just literally going to walk into the team and just be integrated straight into the squad. Like, Alvarez has already played in the Premier League and he's already balled it out. And he's played right wing, left wing, up front, attacking midfield. He played as central midfielder for one season. Like, he got 17 assists from the right wing, if you remember correctly, in that season. And the reason why Manchester City have fell off a cliff is because Alvarez isn't in the team anymore. Like, he is the heartbeat of all the off the ball work. Like, he was unbelievable that season, and he was just thrown out like he was worthless. You know what? We don't need him. We'll just bin him. Like, seriously? And you suffered for it, Manchester City, because Alvarez was it. Anyway, he's got 29 goals this season. Like, every season he's balled it. Like, he's won multiple league titles wherever he's gone. Like, and there's a reason why Liverpool are going for this guy. He's completed England. But he wants to complete. He wants to complete more. He really does. He wanted to come to Liverpool. Anyway, we have to be optimistic on this one, because they're really not a good club to deal with. Like, Atletico Madrid are a horrible club to deal with. Like, they just are. But we have the McAllister factor, and you're not wrong there. But I will also say one other thing as well, Tony, which we have to be aware of. Real Madrid are going to come for McAllister. They are going to come for McAllister. And there's a reason why he didn't play the last couple of games, and the reason why he's not at the club now. He's just on holiday. And why Dominic Szoboszlai was played in the 8. Because we are going to expect a huge bid for McAllister from Real Madrid, because he's Xabi Alonso's number one target. As soon as he went into Real Madrid, the first thing he asked for was Alexis McAllister. Like, no doubt, absolutely no doubt. So I'm just saying, like, I think we'll probably bat this one off. But if they come in with like 100 million, I can't see the club standing. I can't see the club turning it down. He's got 2 years left on his contract. Alexis McAllister. We're going to be in talks with him next year for a new deal, and like, literally, Xabi Alonso can build that team around him as the heartbeat. Like, and he's in his pomp. It'll be big money to get him out. But if we could get Alvarez, this could be a way of keeping McAllister, because McAllister would love to play with Alvarez. He'd love to play with Alvarez, McAllister would. And just think of that lineup. My God, just think of that midfield. You've got Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai, you've got Wirtz, you've got McAllister, then you've got Alvarez, you've got Salah, you've got Cody Gakpo. I mean, do you even need a number 9 now? Like, you know, are you going to play Alvarez on the left, or are you going to play Alvarez as the 9? Alvarez has done really well playing as the 9 this season, but the two of them could cost 200 million. I feel 200 million would be well spent with those two. I feel 200 million would be well spent. I don't think Adam Morton's going to be sold because there's too many players that are linked to leave Crystal Palace. And I will say this now. Actually, I'll show you. I'll show you this. Oh, actually, this is what I wanted to show you before. Sorry. I didn't show you this before. So when I said if the previous previous director of football, who was the manager pretty much, was at the club this season, I don't think we'd stand a chance getting Wirtz or even Alvarez, because this is what Jurgen did in 2018. Jurgen travelled to meet Rodrigo before he signed for Real Madrid, and he still turned us down and went to Real Madrid. Klopp went out there. As Liverpool director called me saying Klopp was already knew the player and had seen the material. He had already come to see Rodrigo personally. Klopp had already gone and met the player without the club even knowing. Like, he just did mad stuff. Like, he flew to South America to go and meet him. Yeah. Madness, mate. Absolute madness. Like, do you remember Jurgen? Do you remember Jurgen met Virgil van Dijk in Blackpool and we couldn't sign him for a year because he'd broken rules? Like, honestly, mate, he did mad stuff. Yeah, so I read that today, which kind of blew my mind a bit, if I'm honest. Okay, so this is more stuff as well. I mean, there's just loads. I'm just going to show you loads of stuff because there's loads of stuff that's out now about Liverpool. We're just constantly on all of the tabloids. So, okay, where am I looking? Okay. So obviously you got Frimpong. That's done, by the way. In case you didn't know, that's actually done. Medical's been passed. That'll be announced on the 1st. So that'll be announced on the 1st. The Kirkez deal. I think what's really interesting is all of the stuff that's come out about Kirkez. Yeah. All of the stuff that's come out about Kirkez is other clubs interested in him. Yeah. So you've got Manchester City now. You've got Real Madrid. It's all bullshit. This has all come from Kirkez's side, so we pay the full fee. Yeah. We're working on a structured deal for Kirkez because they got paid 50 million cash for Huijsen. So we know they don't need the money because they were willing to structure the deal for Huijsen for us. So we're now trying a structured deal. It's going to be worth more. They're going to get more money, but they're just going to get money spread over 4 years instead of 38 million or 42 million, I think it is. But they're pushing for 45 million, and we don't want to pay it. Like, we don't want to pay. We don't want to end up with a guy that's like the third highest transfer for a left back in history. Like, we don't want to kind of put that pressure on him as a 21-year-old. So we're trying to structure the deal so it ends up a little bit like Jota, where we just pay like 10 million for a couple of years. And you're right, we're also touting the Hincapié opportunity to push Bournemouth to accept the deal, which is why the Hincapié stuff's coming out now. It's a left back that can play centre back. Bournemouth might be like, whoa, hang on a minute. We might not be able to get Kirkez sold here. And no other club wants him. Man United are going to get him. They bought Dogu. Manchester City don't want him. They've got Guardiola. And also we're talking about Hato as well. True. So yeah, look at the tea leaves. The tea leaves are there. Clubs do this. Like, clubs do this a lot. I also want to bring this one out as well because I thought this one was quite interesting. And Dave O.C. Cop's pretty good, by the way. Dave O.C. Cop's the guy who got the exclusives on Bobby Clark getting sold. Also, Bajcetic going. Also, Fabio Carvalho. Like he gets the scoop on the lesser players leaving clubs, but Fabrizio Romano have said like Liverpool could really go for Isak. Like they could do something crazy for Isak. Like we've got our hands in so many fires right now. Like we're just not messing around, and we're straight out with these players. Like Isak's been a number one target, yeah, and Newcastle feel pretty confident they're going to keep him. Like they are. He's having an operation now as well. You're right, which doesn't bode well, does it? To be honest, like that he's a bit crocked again. And also Arnie Slot's talked about him as well. Like Arnie Slot's come out and talked about him as well. So I think that's quite an interesting one. That Fabrizio Romano is saying Liverpool haven't given up on Isak, and the list is really the list isn't that big. It's Isak, it's Alvarez, it's Osimhen, and it's Harry Kane. That's the list. And I know I just said Harry Kane at the end, but it is Harry Kane. Like he's on the list. And the Ekitike one is too much money. They want too much money, and also the Sesko one. Sorry guys, it's just not. It's not on the cards. Edwards isn't having any projects. He's not having any more projects, and he'll cost the same amount that Nunes cost. And it's just not. It's just not what we're looking to do. And I do get that Arne Slot has made strikers very good. Like he has made strikers very good, but I think he understands that the Premier League isn't the Dutch league. You can't just throw strikers in and they just hit the ground running. You need to have the real creme de la creme, which is why we're linked with Isak, Alvarez, Osimhen, and obviously Harry Kane. They're the best of the best. They're pure elite. And there is one more as well, which has come up, which is really interesting because this could be one that could come anyway behind the likes of an Alvarez. I'm just gonna close some windows. 2 seconds. Not in the house. On here, I'm closing windows here. So this one here is Liverpool. Where is it? That's the Barcelona stuff. There's 300 of you in here. Big up everyone that's come in. Massive big up to everyone that's come in. Good to have you in here. If you're a new subscriber, please let me know, and the chat will welcome you. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. The algorithm gets it out there, which it obviously is. This one's wild for me. Let me share my screen again. 2 seconds, because I closed that down. This one's wild. This was from Fabrizio as well. If you haven't seen this one's wild. So, do you remember the owner of Brighton turned around and said, "Belieber's going to cost 100 million." Yeah, Belieber's going to cost 100 million, and João Pedro is going to cost 100 million. Well, guess what? João Pedro isn't going to cost 100 million. João Pedro is going to cost 50, 60 million. And the reason why João Pedro is going to cost 50, 60 million is because he had a fight on the training ground with Van Hecker. And let me ask you this question. Is João Pedro the type of character that Liverpool want? Is Mateus Cunha the type of character Liverpool wants? I'll ask that question. Are they the type of characters that Liverpool want at the club? Players that have fights with their own players on the training ground. I'm asking you that question. Like, whether we think he's a good player or not is irrelevant. Does the attitude fit into the club? Because Liverpool have a no dickhead policy, and you just said it. You said it spot on there. If they're dickheads, it's a hard no. It is, which makes me wonder why Slot wants to get rid of Nunes. Are we starting to realise Nunes might be a bit of a dickhead? Are we starting to kind of realise that? Because I knew he was one from the start. When he headbutted Anderson in the Crystal Palace game and then tried to throw a chair into the crowd at a Uruguay game, all I thought about was, you are a complete dickhead and you need to be binned out of my club. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. And Nunes is born offside. That's what you've got to look at. Liverpool are looking at model professionals who are dedicated to football and can integrate with players that they might look at them and think, wow, I'm playing on the same pitch as you, Mo Salah. I'm playing on the same pitch as you, Virgil van Dijk. But they need to be humble enough to be able to go, are there any tips you can show me? Is there anything you can give me advice on? Like, they're the type of players you want. You don't want the type of players who think they're better than them. You don't want the type of players who think they're showboat Charlies. You don't want the type of players who go around flexing the cash, sprucing the money. Like, we're all starting to see the Trent is kind of gone down that road, started to be a bit of an ego, starting to be a bit of a, you know, I'm better than you. Like, maybe a dickhead. I'm thinking quite possibly. So, do Liverpool really want that? So, I think the João Pedro might be a bit of a smokescreen. So, I think this one could be a smokescreen to make people think we're going in for a certain individual at Brighton, and maybe we're looking at a certain individual at Atletico Madrid or somewhere else. But yeah, I don't think João Pedro is going to be that guy. He's a decent player. I mean, he's good at taking penalties. I mean, that's kind of all he does, really, is takes penalties. Like, if you want to sign a player just because he takes penalties, then fill your boots. But like, and then there's this one. I need to put this one to bed now because everybody talks about Cherki. Cherki's not coming to Liverpool. He's not on the list, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the news. Okay, this is from Dave O.C. Cop, by the way, but this came from France. So Benjamin Correz from the Le Parisien has said, however, the latest reports from Germany claims that the midfield does not feature heavily in Liverpool's summer plans. Even Florian Wirtz has come out and said, and also Patrick Berger. Yep. Understand he is not a priority for Liverpool. This was yesterday. Okay? Ryan Cherki is not in Liverpool's plans. Like, whether you like it or not, like, it is what it is. Like, but for me, I think they've looked at the personality. I think they've looked at attitude problem. I also think they've looked at possibly the work rate. And yeah, I don't think he's one that the club want to entertain. He's a good player. I'm not going to say he isn't, but for me, he's got Manchester United written all over him. He's got Manchester United written all over him, and then a flop. That's what he's got. He really has got Manchester United written all over him and a flop. But Crystal Palace are interested. And Crystal Palace are interested in him because Eze might be on the move. And I know Crystal Palace have just qualified for Europe, but Eze is heavily linked with Tottenham. However, Eze is our second choice if we do not get Wirtz. You heard it here. You heard it here. Eze is our second choice if we don't get Wirtz, and he will cost £72 million. That's how much his release clause is. Okay. I'm going to show you this. So this is from the London Insider. He's got an $86 million release clause. Eze is our second choice option if we do not get Wirtz. It's not Cherky. It's Eze. However, Tottenham have now got Champions League, and depending on whether Tottenham want to back their new manager, whether it's going to be, I don't know who they're going to get in, but I know they're getting rid of him, Ange, then we'll be fighting with Tottenham for him, because Tottenham will try and buy him. However, we don't get Wirtz, we want Eze. I get that. I do get that. But the guy is unbelievable. Like, he's an unbelievable player. Like, he really is. Even if we got 3 years out of him, 3 years out of him is something special. He's also spent quite a bit of time injured when he was younger, so he actually hasn't got the games under his legs as much. Mate, I wanted Elise a long time ago, and you were there when I was banging the drum about Elise for so long. Everyone was like, I don't know. And I'm like, we should throw all the money at him. Look how well he's done at Bayern. Elise was the guy for me. I'd rather we gone and got him, but we had Jurgen back then, mate, so that didn't happen. Anyway, so that's the Eze bit that I wanted to get out there. Also, where's the Ornstein? So this is Ornstein talking about Eze, by the way. So this isn't just from me. This is from Ornstein talking about Eze as a plan B for Liverpool. Okay, you can go and look for that yourself. All right. So that's just not me making stuff up. So there's also other bits about Darwin Núñez having options available in different countries. So Núñez expected to leave Liverpool, 100%. Uruguay international wanted by Napoli and Atletico Madrid. Also, Saudi Pro League teams are eager to snap him up as well. They are. He's got plenty of suitors. However, if we can squeeze out Alvarez and replace Alvarez with Núñez for Atleti, they're also looking at a deal with Jonathan David as well, by the way. So they are looking at a striker. Then I'd rather we took the hit in the long run, maybe lost a bit of money on him, but got Alvarez through the door. Like, and Alvarez isn't on mad wages, by the way. He's only on about 120k. Like, he's not on ridiculous wages. So I think Frimpong's on more money, by the way. So yeah, I mean, and also Wirtz isn't on huge wages either, by the way. Wirtz is only on about 120, maybe 125 grand. Like, they're not on gigantic wages, these players, which is also a reason why Liverpool are looking at them. Yeah, they may cost a lot of money, but the wages aren't insane, and they won't be stretched over huge periods. So we'll be doing Wirtz like on a 6-year deal. We'll be doing Alvarez on a 5 or 6 year deal. Yeah, I don't really know where he's going to end up because he's being touted everywhere. If Manchester United had got Champions League, he would go to Manchester United. That's a fact. That was a fact. But they haven't got Champions League now, and Sporting have because they won the league. I think he might stay at Sporting. Like, I know that's wild, but I think he might stay at Sporting. I think Cunha might end up at Arsenal. I think Cunha might end up at Arsenal. Why would Cunha want to go to Manchester United when they finish below Wolves? Like, if Cunha goes to Manchester United, then he's all about the money. And who wants him anyway? Like, who wants him anyway? He just wants to go there when he's got the chance to go to Arsenal. I think Cunha might end up at Arsenal. He hasn't signed. He hasn't signed yet. No one's signed. It's an interesting one. What else have we got for you? Yeah, so that's João Pedro. So there's this one here, which is Dave O.C. Cop again, which is Sesko. So Benjamin Sesko is keen on a move to Liverpool, and talks took place as far back as from last year. Liverpool are still in contact, and the believed 100 million fee can be reduced. There are a number of clubs interested. Yeah, that's nothing. Okay, so we spoke to him a year ago. So what? Everybody spoke to him a year ago when he had a 50 million release clause, but no one bought him. No one bought him, and now he's worth more. Well, we're not going to go for him. I'm sorry. Like, there might be people that want him, but we're not going to go for him. We're just not. What else am I looking at? Okay, I'm going to close a couple of screens because it's getting a bit laggy again. But I want to talk about 7 players that can leave Liverpool, according to David Ornstein. Where's that? Is that the 7 players that can leave? No, that's Darwin Núñez. So get rid of that. Just bear with me 2 secs because I'm stuck on another screen. That's the Eze Plan B. That's the Eze. Yeah. Okay. So this is 7 title winning players that could leave. This is from Ornstein. Okay. So this is from Ornstein. Let me just. Okay. So Ornstein did an NBC interview today. Yeah. So he talked about 7 players that could leave. Darwin Núñez, Gerald Quansah, and I want to show you the Gerald Quansah stuff because that is real. There was loads of clubs that are interested in Quansah. And if you listen to Klopp. Oh, God, never going to stop doing that, am I? Are we always going to say Klopp instead of Slot? Like, is that the way it's going to be? Drives me mad. So if you listen to Slot's interview talking about Quansah, he basically said that he needs to see consistency from him. Well, he's not going to play him, so he's not going to get consistency from him. So I think he'll be sold. I genuinely think he'll be sold. So you've got Núñez, Quansah. It's interesting that you see Quansah as the second name, isn't it? We know Darwin Núñez is gone. We know Darwin Núñez is gone. But then you see Quansah as the second name, and then you see Harvey Elliott as the third name. And then you see Caoimhin Kelleher. And then you've got Luis Diaz and Ibrahim Konate. Don't you find that really interesting that he's listed all of those players? Diogo Jota's not on there. I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Diogo Jota's not on there. Costas is going. 100% Costas is going. Costas could be going to Leeds to replace Junior Firpo, who's going to Real Betis. Just thought I'd let you know that. That was just a random one off the top of my head. But yeah, apparently Falk's looking at him to replace Junior Firpo. So he'll be coming back into the Premier League. He's staying in the Premier League. Nunes Oshiman. Isn't it really interesting that the two clubs that are linked with Nunes, we are linked with two strikers. We're linked with Oshiman. Well, we nearly bought Oshiman. We nearly got Oshiman in January. I talked about this loads. We nearly got Oshiman on loan, and he would have been on £200,000 a week contract. And after the loan finished, we'd have bought him. We'd have paid the release clause. Everything was agreed. We were 24 hours away of doing that deal, and the Napoli owner pulled the deal because he wouldn't pay him his loyalty payments, and he basically just screwed him over. The Napoli owner is a piece of work, man, a real piece of work. And a really interesting thing is, everyone talks about, Fabrizio Romano is always talking about Oshiman. Fabrizio Romano is mates with the Napoli owner. He certainly doesn't want to ruin his relationship with him by being on Oshiman's side. So he's his mouthpiece. And he's also Chelsea's mouthpiece as well, Romano. Do you remember he got caught lying about the Caicedo deal? You remember that one? Remember where people's beds lie? And his was with Chelsea and Italian teams. But I just think it's really interesting that Ornstein named all of those players. Now, if we sat here now and we worked out how much money we'd get, yeah. So let's just randomly pull some numbers out, yeah. So I'm gonna get the calculator out, okay. I'm gonna get the calculator out and I'm gonna do some numbers. Okay, so how much do you think we could get for Nunes if we sold Nunes in the chat? There's 270 of you in here. How much for Nunes in the chat? 70? Should we meet in the middle? Let's say 60. Yeah, let's just say 60. Let's just be a little bit like frugal with the numbers. Yeah, I know we've got Edwards, by the way, so we probably will get the most out of all of them. But let's just say 60 we get. Okay, 65, 55. Let's just go for 60. It's in the middle. Yeah, so let's do 60. And then Gerald Quansah. Does anyone think we'll get more than 30 million for Quansah? Because I think 30 is reasonable for Quansah. What do you say? 30? 25? I think 30 because we might even get that from German clubs. German clubs have got money, and also Bayer Leverkusen are about to lose Jonathan Tah. You don't think they'd be interested in Quansah? Just putting that out there. So let's say 30. Yeah. Okay. Harvey Elliott. What do you say? 40? 40 million? So what if Gibbs White went to Manchester City from Nottingham Forest? Do you think they'd replace Gibbs White with Harvey Elliott? They might get 80 million for Gibbs White. 40. Okay, 40 million. Okay, now let's look at Queven. I know Aston Villa offered 12 million, which is pathetic. But I reckon we could get 20. 20 million for Queven? What do you reckon? 20? I'm going 20. 40? I don't think we'll get 40. I'm going 20. I'm trying to be a bit frugal here. Okay, I'm trying to be a bit frugal. Okay, now let's throw Luis Diaz into the mix. Well, we all know that we could probably get 70 million for Diaz from Barcelona, and we may be able to. We may wiggle a deal where we might get 80, but they might have to pay in installments, just like they did with Coutinho. So I'm saying 70 million for Luis Diaz. And then finally, Kostas Tsimikas. Kostas Tsimikas is on that list. Should we say 15? Let's say 15. I know Konate's in there, but I'm not going to put Konate in there yet. All right, so let's just leave Konate out of that. Okay, so if we add all of those up, yeah, do we want to add any more players? Do we want to add Tyler Mortons, Ben Doak? Do we want to add any of those players to this list? Do we want to put Gomez in there, or should we just leave it at what Ornstein said? Because Ornstein is pretty on the ball with a lot of stuff. So should we just leave it with that for now? Okay, let's just leave it with that. Yeah. How much does that say? Oop. How much does that say? Can someone read that? Can someone read that? That's 235 million on player sales. So let's just work out 235 million, yeah? And Doak hasn't been sold. Gomez hasn't been sold. Morton hasn't been sold. Endo hasn't been sold. None of those players have been sold yet. You've still got all of those players in the background. You've got Owen Beck. You've got Ramsey. You've got Stefan Bajcetic. You've got Chiesa. You've got all of these players that haven't been sold. Chiesa's not on that list either. You've got Jota. None of these players have been sold either. Okay, and you've still got 235. And I'm being frugal, by the way. I'm knocking like 10, 15 million off some players. Okay, so let's just think of that, yeah? Let's just think of that. 235 million. Let's just start working out players that we're potentially signing and just take the money out of this money and see what we've got left, yeah? Let's just see where we are, yeah? So 235 million. Let's just say we had to pay 29 million for Frimpong. Yeah, let's just say we paid 29 million for Frimpong. Maybe we're paying installments, maybe we're not. But let's just say we paid 29 million. So that's minus 29 million. Yeah. We're now down to 206 million. Okay. Let's say we have to pay 42 million for Kirkes. Let's just say we have to pay 42 million for Kirkes. Okay. So that's minus 42 million. That's 164 million left. Okay, let's say we're going to buy Wirtz for 84 million. Yeah. Let's put 90 million for Wirtz just to get it at a round number. Okay. So that's minus 90 million for Wirtz. That leaves us with 74 million. How much do you think we could get Alvarez for? 74 million? With a Nunes thrown in, maybe? Or 74 million and maybe we pay a bit more with installments? That's what I'm trying to talk about here. Everything's balanced in the books. Everything's balanced in the books. I know he's going to ask for a 200 million pound loan. Doesn't mean that 200 million pound loan isn't going to get paid back by player sales. It just means they need the money right now to do the business because the players can't be sold just yet. The players aren't going to get sold yet, which means that they need the money to put on the table right now to get these players out the door before anyone else is even in the door. And that's why he's flying over to Boston. And that's why he's in Boston now, actually, discussing these deals. This loan, this massive loan that's needed. And we'll probably get that from Redbird Group. That's where we got the loan to buy McAllister. That's where we got the loan to buy Dominic Szoboszlai. That's where we got that £120 million loan to buy that raft of players from the midfield. It's the same scenario. He's gone there to get the money to do the front line, to get the Wirtz, and to get the Alvarez in. Not messing around. Not messing around. And we sit there with 74 million left over. Do you think 74 million could get you a forward? Do you think 74 million could get you Harry Kane? Could get you Victor Osimhen? I think 74 million could get you one of them. Osimhen's got a £60 million release clause. Harry Kane's got a £53 million release clause. 74 million can get you Mbeumo. Mbeumo is on the list, by the way, but he's just a lot lower down. 74 million could probably get you Ekitike if you really wangle it. 74 million would get you Victor Gyökeres. I'm missing prize money. I'm missing sponsorship money. I'm missing all of that money. I know. But we don't get that money. We don't get the money till next year. That's how it works. You get paid later, which is why the PSR and all of the tax things have to go through early, which is probably the reason why we didn't sign Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk onto new contracts until after the tax year. And also, the tax code changed. We've already earned over 250 million. We haven't got that money. We won't get that money. We won't get that money till next year. So I'm just working on a calculator. I'm not the people in the back room. I'm not the people who are looking at all of the situations. But our director of football, our COO of the club, is over in Boston with our sporting director talking to the owners about the budget, about players that they can get into the club, and the conversations with their agents have already happened. They're already done. They've already sold the projects. Now it's time to put the money on the table. 84 million on the table for Wirtz. 70, 80 million on the table for Alvarez, with a potential Nunes on loan. On the table. Lewis Steele said he isn't in Boston. It was all over the internet last night that he flew to Boston. Anyway, what else have we got for you? I think I'm pretty much wrapped up. Have we got more stuff on Wirtz? Actually, while I'm here, let me have a quick look to see whether there's been any more news. Let me see if there's been any more news. 2 seconds. Has there been any more news? Mo Salah's been chosen as Football Writers Association of the Year. So Mo Salah's got another award. Good on Mo. Just share that tab. There you go. There's another one for Mo. Good on him. Oh, okay. So this is the read. The truth about Wirtz, Liverpool buying. This is in the Daily Mail. Yeah, I've already seen his YouTube. He's got a YouTube channel, by the way. Lewis Steele. He's already talked about him. What else have I got? Richard Hughes already gave away the game before Liverpool made the Wirtz transfer decision. What's this one? Let's have a read of this. Let's share this tab so we can all have a read of this together. This is fresh. Liverpool is expected to be in the race with Ryan Wirtz, and Hughes may have already given away his tactics. No way to get the deal done. Richard Hughes is said to be a busy man, blah, blah, blah. Sport director looks as if he's wasting no time. What have we got? On the Reds, what's more? Hughes might have something up his sleeve, something that could leave Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Manchester City looking in envy. Wirtz is the name, blah, blah, blah. Liverpool man understands reports came when Wirtz flew to England last week in order to speak to the Reds officials. Links with the German international, no indication. Pushing ahead, okay. The report still a long way. Clear days. Window open will all be optimistic. It could prove to be a quiet first window. That is all doubt. Major concern, European Copa. There were no major international tournaments this summer, but is the revamped Club World Cup. Taking a lot of effort. The price tag of around 170 million euros. That's not true. That's only for Bayern Munich. Free run to pursue. I don't understand what that's about. Richard Hughes already gave the game away. What? That doesn't actually mean anything. I hate articles that don't actually explain anything. And what's the point in having articles that don't explain anything? Like, that's just stupid. Yeah, that's just stupid. Anyway, I'm getting out of here, guys and girls. Okay, if you haven't hit the like and subscribe, please do. I'd really appreciate it. What I will do, though, actually, before I go, is I'm going to share my tactics board because I love doing this. Okay, so I'm going to share my tactics board. So let's have a look at this. Let's see how this lines up. Okay, so I'm sticking Canate in here still. Okay, I know I put a question mark, but I'm actually leaving Canate in there. So I actually set my tactics board up like this, which is kind of how Liverpool have played last year. I don't think Wharton's going to come, so I'm going to remove him. I don't think we're going to get Adam Wharton. I do think all of them will be sold, potentially them as well. I'm actually just going to remove him. I'm actually going to move these over here now because I think Elliott, Diaz, Quonset are all going to go. Like, why would Ornstein name them? I find that really interesting that Ornstein literally named them all. And he named them like this. He said all of these names, by the way. All of these names he said. Which I find wild. It was Diaz, it was Nunes first. Then it was Quonset. Then it was Elliott. Then it was Gallagher. Then it was Diaz. And then it was Costas. All of that gives you 236 million. Are you kidding me? Like, we still haven't even put Chiesa, Morton, Doak, potentially Gomez. Like, no one thinks Gomez is going to be around next season. Like, Endo, whether he's going to be around next season. Like, you know, people talking about Robbo. Like, and then you got the likes of Kumas, Gordon, Ramsey, Jaros, like Owen Beck. Like, there's loads of other players that potentially could go as well. And then there's also Canate, hasn't signed a new deal. He could go. I think it's wild. But I'm gonna add another player to the mix. And I'm not gonna say this is gonna happen, by the way. I'm just not gonna say this is gonna happen. But it could. But what does that look like? Like, tell me if that wins you the league or not. Does that win you the league? Does that lineup win you the league next season? Like, that is scary. And you could even do this. Like, if you wanted to, you could even do this. So let me just play around with this here. So you could even do this. So you swap swap this round. So you've got Wirtz and Dom in that position, maybe. Like, or you could even put Wirtz in there. You could put Dom over there, who's played in that position loads. You could put Wirtz next to Salah. You can put Alvarez in there. I mean, my God, all it would cost is 200 million for those two, and look at the transformation you've got in the attack. Alvarez and Wirtz next to each other, like dovetailing. Like Alvarez can play 10, Wirtz can play 10, Wirtz can play right wing, Wirtz can play left wing, Alvarez can play left wing, he can play the 9, he can play the 10, and then you've got potentially you have got Jota as backup, or you've got Cody Gakpo as backup, who can also play left wing, number 9 if you wanted. Potentially you can put him in the 7 if you wanted. But then you've also got Frimpong who can play in the 7. You've got Salah that can move in. You've then got Bradley that can play in the right back position, or you've got Gomez that can play in the right back position. Then you've also got Gomez that can play in Konaté's position, who's done a good job, by the way. You've got Robbo who can play if Kirkes needs a rest. You've got Endo that can play if Gravenberch needs a rest. And then you've got the likes of Curtis Jones that can play in the midfield as well. He can play in Mac's position. He can also play in Dom's position. He can also play on the left. Like, honestly, the versatility in that team is frightening. It's frightening. And then you have got the option, like, maybe we do get Adam Morton, but if we get Adam Morton, then we've literally got stacked in every single position on the pitch. Every position we're stacked. That's frightening. Like, we are doing bits. Just getting those two in the attack just takes us to another dimension. It puts us in a place where you've got potentially 70 GA from your 10 and your 9, and you've still got Mo's 40 GA. You've still got potentially 25 to 30 GA from the left-hand side if you play Cody. Like, honestly, it's not a dream, though. It's not a dream because it's doable. And we're looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the numbers off player sales that Ornstein has said. This isn't just me and you making players' names up. This is David Ornstein today talking on NBC saying these are potentially 7 players that could leave Liverpool. And he named them all one by one in a certain order. And they can rake in 230 million between them all. And we still haven't talked about the money we got from the player sales last season, which is like 60 million. We haven't talked about the budget that we're being given. We haven't talked about the money that we're getting for the sponsorship, the money we're getting for winning the league and the Champions League. We haven't talked about any of that. We're just talking about player sales and buying who we bought and potentially buying a Wirtz and Alvarez. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. It's just not. Crazy, man. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with that. I'm going to redirect you now to another channel. Let me just find somewhere. 2 seconds. Let me just find a channel that's live. Bear with me. What I want you to do is, when you're there, say KMAT Raid. I'm going to send you to 12th man. Okay, 2 seconds. I'm going to send you to Liverpool 12th man. Bear with me. 2 seconds. Why can't I redirect? Crap. Where's the redirect? There it is. Okay, sorry. Okay, so redirecting you to 12. Why can't I see 12 man? Why can't I see? Can someone chuck me the link for 12 man Liverpool 12? Oh, there it is. Restrict privileges needed. Ask 12 man if you can add to the redirect list. What? Okay, I can't redirect you because 12 man doesn't let you, which is weird. Okay, I can't redirect you all. Sorry. I mean, that's ridiculous that I can't redirect you to his channel. Hang on. I'm just going to ask him 2 seconds. Hang on here though, please, because I do want to redirect you to his channel. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous that I can't redirect. I know. What's it all about, eh? While you're all sat here though, hit the like and subscribe. I'm on the road to 1,000, so let's see if you can get me to 1,000. Let's see if you can get me to 1,000. Let me see how many short I am now. Oh come on, I'm only 15 short. Can I have 15 subscribers in here now? Come on, 15 subscribers. Come on, hit the subs. Let's get me to 1,000 while you're all here. Come on. Come on. Actually, I'm going to count. I'm going to count now. I'm going to count live as you're subbing. Oh, come on. I'm only 11 away. Come on, you can do it. Come on, hit the subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe. at least let me at 1K now. There's like 200 of you in here now. Is Coppish on? I don't think Coppish is on, mate. Coppish isn't on. The only one that's on now is 12 man, and he's a good lad. So go and check his channel out. But I just want to redirect you all. Yeah, just put KMAT raid. Just put KMAT raid in there. Okay, so he's making me he's letting me redirect. How close am I? Oh come on, I need 10. 10 more. 10 more. Come on, gang. There's 200 plus here. Come on. Come on. Come on, let me get 1,000. Let me get 1,000. I am counting. I am actually counting. Okay. Okay, so let me just redirect you. Let me redirect you now. Right. Okay, so 12 man. So it's Liverpool 12. Oop. Come on, I'm not going anywhere until you all sub. Okay, so no, he's still not done it. Come on. Oh. You're trying to do someone a favor, aren't you? Trying to do someone a favor by sending people over to his channel. And and they won't, and they can't let, and they don't let you because of their settings. Like, seriously? You try to do a favor. Hang on a minute. Let me see if there's any other news I can drop right now. Come on, 12. Hurry up. No, I haven't got any more fresh stuff to tell you. Nope, he's still not got rights to do it. That's ridiculous. Nope, still not got rights. Nope, I can't do it. Okay, all right. I'm getting out of here, guys. All right, I'm out of here. Sorry. Let me see how many I've got. How many subscribers I've got though. I really hope I hit 1,000. Oh, come on! I'm 5 short. 5 short. You can do it. All right. I'm trusting you. I'm leaving it with you. Okay. All right. You all have a great evening. Okay, and I'll catch up with you all soon. All right. Big up and keep the faith. We will get Wirtz, and I believe we will get Alvarez as well. But I'm not nailing it yet. But I think we'll get Alvarez as well. All right. Yeah. I hope I get 1,000 by the next vid. I hope so too, Mezzy. All right. Catch you all later. I'm out of here. Up the Reds.